Hello all you beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend Brady coming at you fast with another Beast Builds video, yo. Today we're going to be looking at the one, the only, the alcoholic Howitzer, the handsome hero. Yes, indeed, and the first thing you can notice is his ability power, and that's exactly how we're going to build him. Now, Howitzer is a mage, okay? He's a mage, even though he looks like... I actually have no idea what the fuck he is. I really don't. If anybody can please explain in the comment section below, I will give you a cookie. I don't know. It's kind of an old cookie. It's like a half-eaten Oreo, but it's still a cookie, and I'll give you one, okay? So, if you can tell me what the fuck he is, I don't know. Is he a rat? Is he a rabbit? Is he a fox? Is he a... The fuck is... Bro, okay. Anyway, let's actually go into the deck, because this deck is pretty cool, right? I actually figured out how to play Howitzer, and I built a pretty decent deck for him. I think that builds around his stuff pretty well. So, you're going to want to have that Prime card, though, the Magus, whatever. Okay, obviously that's the Prime card you want. That's the Prime card you need in your life, okay? And usually when I start off with Howitzer, I like to start off with a health pot, a mana pot, and usually maybe a harvester key or a scout's ward, depends on what everybody else grabs. Scout's wards are nice for getting rid of shadow wards in the early game, because you can do that with Howitzer. You can find a shadow ward, shoot out your slow bombs at it, and it'll actually hit it 3 times, because the slow bombs are pretty good AoE on that. So... yeah, you can do that. So that's why I like using the scout sword in the beginning. Or if you don't want to use a ward, you can pick yourself up. I don't know, like a mana token if you have one of those things. Where is it? Equipment's up here probably. Yeah, like a cast token maybe. You know, maybe a health token. Probably a cast token because he's kind of weak in the beginning. He's not as strong as Gideon in the beginning scaling. Actually, all casters are really not too strong in the beginning with their scaling, but when you level up their ability a bit and you give them that first damage item, then they become a bit stronger. So that's exactly what we're going to start off with. After we use our starting equipment, we are going to slot a Whirling Wand. Okay, we're going to slot a Whirling Wand, and we're going to slot this with probably 3 minor casts. I actually just had a brain fart. I don't remember if I do 3 minor casts or 3 regular casts. This is a brain fart on my part. Let's just stick with the 2 casts for now. Okay, I started doing some crazy stuff with slotting because I've been experimenting. I've been looking at what a lot of other people are doing. There's been some crazy builds where like you build something with 3 minor casts and then later down the road you replace it with 3 bigger casts, stuff like that. But for now we're gonna keep it clean, keep it simple, and we're gonna go Whirling Wand with 3 casts. Okay. Oh, I think I remember why I have these minor casts. I'll go over that in a second. Then the second item you want to build is your Solaris Reactor. Okay, this is your mana regen, and you're gonna build it with 3 sparks, which are all mana regen. Okay, Howitzer's a mana whore, so you definitely need a good amount of mana regen so he can keep using his abilities, which is really nice. Okay, now after that, you're gonna go with Whirling Wand again, and this time you're gonna go 3 major casts. All right, 3 major casts. All right, that's what you're gonna do. Again, like always, the description of this build will be in the description of this video, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. Another thing, the 4th item that you want to get is at this point you'll probably replace your 3 starting items. Okay, if you don't, that's fine, but you might replace them, and you should have a shadow ward at this point at least. Sometimes I even build my shadow ward 3rd because people need it. And if I need like a quick, full upgrade bonus, which usually I do on this ward, as you can see, the fully upgraded bonus is another 7.6 energy damage. I go 3 minor casts. That's where the minor casts come into play. That's just for that extra bonus damage at the end. Just real quick, 0 to 100 real quick is what we want to be doing with this. So that's why that's there. So you can either put that 3rd or 4th. Now the 5th card that I like using is Meltdown, and this will give you more major casts, put more major casts in here, and you'll do even more damage. Or, here's where you can get kind of fancy, alright? If you feel like you're doing a pretty decent amount of damage, alright, you're scaling pretty quick, what you can do is go into Burnblood powder, which gives you cooldown. Okay, and you, please excuse that, okay, you upgrade it with 3 advanced chronos, and you get an insane amount of cooldown, and I'm going to explain why this is so crazy. First off, the majority of Howitzer's damage comes from his ult and his long-range missile. Okay, he does a decent amount of damage with his autos, but when you need to deal a lot of burst damage, you're going to use that long-range missile, you're going to use that ult. If you don't have the ult, I mean, you're still going to use all of your abilities. I mean, he's a mage, okay? He deals the majority of his damage through his abilities. He's not an ADC. So, and especially with the increased range on it too, it's way more useful now, which makes Howitzer really, really good now as compared to before. So, when you have your cooldown at 30%, you know, 30-40%, you don't even have to max it out. You can use your abilities that much quicker, and because he has that mana regen, he won't really be too mana starved, okay? So you'll be able to regenerate it back pretty decently. I mean, obviously it's not going to be a 1-for-1 mana trade-off, but still you'll be able to hang in there for a good while. And the cooldown is really good, because imagine Howitzer 30% faster with his rockets, his slows, his bounce back. Excuse me. Wow, I'm getting choked up just talking about it. It's so beautiful. His bounce backs, everything. I fought against a Howitzer that had cooldown on, and it was insane, dude. Like, you could not kill him because every other second he'd have his bounce back grenades and his long range missile, and he'd just be doing so much damage. So cooldown is a really big thing on him that I actually never expected, really, but it makes sense, especially on a caster. It makes sense. I've never really used cooldown except for supports, but with Howitzer, I can see how it would work very, very, very well, and it has worked very well in the past, okay? So that could be your 5th item, and Meltdown could be your 6th item. If you just want to go pure damage, if you say, screw you, Briddick, you're an idiot, or I'm just going to go more damage, then you can go Meltdown 5th, and then Burnblood Powder 6th. And now, if I feel like in the end, right, I don't really need my ward anymore, I can replace it with another Meltdown and just deal even more damage. I also have a Sage's Key in there in case we don't need wards and we need somebody with keys, which you usually want to build a key before a ward because wards are more long-term than keys. You know, it only takes about 10-15 minutes to plant those first harvesters, destroy the ones you don't like, plant them again, and that's about it. Everybody else drops their keys at that point. So, you know, the only time anybody really has a key throughout the entirety of the game is maybe if they have Stalker's Key, you know, or Beastmaster's Key, something to help them through the jungle if they're a jungler, but that's usually it. So you usually get rid of your key, you don't need it in the whole game. And that's about it. I actually also have some kinetics here for the other Whirling wand because sometimes I like going attack speed, but really, if you go this cooldown route, you don't need attack speed because, you know, your abilities are still going to be damage-wise. You know, they're going to be based on your damage, not your attack speed. And sure, you can cast them quicker, but it's really not that big of a difference if you get used to it. You get good with it, per se, and it could be real nice for you. So, yeah, I mean, there you guys have it. That's about it. You know, you got your casts, you got your major casts up the wazoo, you have your advanced chrono, you have your regen, and you're good to go. You don't build health and you don't build mana because you have that mana regen. And the health, I mean, you have a health pot for a good while in the game. And, excuse me, later on, I mean, you'll be backing quite often anyway. And the only time you'll be in team fights is when they really, really matter. Plus, Howitzer could get away pretty easily once you get used to his bounce back bombs. And once you use your ult, you know, correctly. So, it's really not that bad to play as Howitzer now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you guys can take this deck, and if you're struggling with Howitzer, maybe you guys can play with him now. He is really fun. He is a really good hero now, especially when paired with Decker and her ult. So definitely check him out if you put him down. That's what I did in the beginning of this game's life cycle. And now he's really, really good, and I've had fun playing him a couple times, so definitely check him out again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and as always, make sure y'all have a wonderful day.